Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I have to. Guys, I'm sorry. So I was trying to do it on my computer and it was not letting me. I was right here. It's not letting me. Okay. So I didn't want to have to hold my phone. Um, yeah.
Oh, you fine? You okay?
Okay.
Whatever,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
whatever's convenient.
Oh, I think I just actually hit a filter. Sorry. Hold on. This is why I didn't want to do the phone. Can you still hear me if I set it down
Yeah, of
and
course.
hear clearly?
It's all good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm well. I have my dogs here, so I'm sorry if they're a little loud.
Oh, it's okay. Shoot, it's been worse on this
Yeah,
platform. You okay? It's been
yeah.
worse, trust me.
So I'm sorry that I could not get my computer to find that connect button. There was nothing. So here I am on my phone.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh,
But how you doing? How
I'm
about you introduce
I'm
yourself?
good. Hello, everyone. I am Lovey Perez. Some people know me as Veronica. That is my government name. That's the name my mom and dad gave me originally. And then some people from college who are also here, I can see, um, they know me as Ronnie. So I now respond to "Hey you," because I have so many names. But yeah, but I'm trying to stick with Lovey Perez because that is my brand now, my cosmetic brand. I have a little one of my palettes right here in front of me, or
Ooh,
my yeah, my cosmetics.
you
So
came prepared.
well,
I like that.
I'm at my desk and I have a lot of my products that I was just looking at before I did the live stream. So yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, I have a lot of fun stuff here that I've been working on. Um, See, there you go. Buy it now. Yeah, loveyperez.com. You can buy my products. Right now I only have lip glosses on there though, but tomorrow I'm adding lip balm for all the crusty lip people in the winter.
Yeah, that's
So
me.
that problem.
Yeah, that's
You have,
me. I had to get my Carmax game strong in order to do this because violence be so chapped because I talk a lot. So
yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, I've got some big lips too, and I definitely need chapstick. So there we go.
That's what's up
But
though.
yeah, yeah, it's being an entrepreneur it's not for the weak.
Mm-mm.
Uh, Not at all. You have to be mentally strong and you have to be willing to pay your staff before you pay yourself. You
Mhm.
have to be, I say, you have to write checks by faith. And that one is hard, like, I don't know if I can really write you this check, but I know I need it. So I'm going to write you this check and by faith, it's going to be in the, in the account. And everything always works out though. It always does. So yeah, so that's nice. But I've been doing this for a long time. So yes, I'm Lovey Perez. I'm an entrepreneur. As you've seen, I have my cosmetic line, but I also have two restaurants with my dad. Um, we did have three locations prior to the pandemic. One did not survive, so I'm still salty. Um,
Sorry
no,
to hear
but
that.
we still have two locations strong, and we have solid teams at each location. So I love that. Um, in management, leadership, it's all a process, and I love my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything right now. So yeah, that's what I do every day, and I'm a dog mom. So yeah, yeah. Oh, and I was telling you, I'm writing a book, and it was edited once. It needs to be edited again after I
Hmm.
made some changes. Um, and I don't have a title yet. So I need a title, but it's about finding self-love and self-actualization. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so I really wanted to kind of implement the psychology with a self-mastery, self-love concept.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that's about. It's really boring if you don't like psychology, but if you love yourself or you want to find the path to love yourself ultimately, I think that it's a really good read. But it's not done yet. So it's in the
Okay.
process. It's a
Okay.
work, yes or no. I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
I wrote a book myself. I just have to get it published, well, get it proofread because I don't know certain things, but I gotta get it proofread, gotta get it published and hard copy and stuff. I just wanted to write one because just the same thing and the same objective that I do with this platform is
Mhm.
just awareness, just speaking awareness of mental health and depression and grief and just what we go through as men. Because society just think that we don't have any feelings, and that's not true. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of us. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and nowadays it's, men are very soft these days and more emotional sometimes than women. And a lot of women, roles have kind of reversed,
Hmm.
where you have these really strong and aggressive women, versus previously softer women, tender, And now I find it's complete opposite, where the men are more now in touch with their feminine side than ever, I would say. If
but
you make it sound good,
but
you know.
but to me, I just feel like it's more labeling than anything because we all are born with feelings. We are all born with hearts and a conscience and morality. So I don't think that it's a masculine or a feminine. It's just those are labels
Yeah.
that society placed it. But I know people with big hearts. I know people with cold hearts. So it's really about just labeling and um, segregating and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Well,
I always, oh,
what's
go
so
ahead.
funny? I've been told that I don't have feelings by people who quit. That for me for like 2 days, and they were done. They were like, I can't take it anymore. I'm like, this is not the place for your feelings, okay? This is the workplace. But yeah, it's if appropriated right at the right time in the right place, yes. In a safe space, if you want to call it, whatever titles or words they call it, that's I think that's healthy. But I think that today's society, they let it bleed into every other area of life. You kind of get like a messy gray area, and nothing's ever organized and cut and clean. Not that your life should be cookie cutter perfect. Life is not perfect at all, but you should have a mental organization skill. And a lot of people were not taught this as a child. I wasn't taught it. I had to self develop. My
Hmm.
my biggest problem with today's culture is that they don't realize there's a difference between education and self-development. They're two completely different things. Now, you think that obviously educating yourself is developing yourself, but self-development is more pinpoint of you to develop you as a person, you know? So that's what my book is about. It's about finding your self-actualization. It's about do you know the psychologist Maslow?
Not that I know of, but you can intrude me with that.
So 1930s, he was a psychologist who wanted to study the difference between humans and animals. It's kind of offensive,
Yeah, like
But
Darwin,
yeah,
pretty much like Charles Darwin. Yeah.
animals and humans, and so he created the hierarchy of needs. So it's like the triangle of needs. It's and at the bottom you have your basic needs.
Hmm.
That's food, water, shelter, rest. So, and then as you get to the top, it gets more complex. You need self-esteem, you need love and belongingness and a loving environment. You need to grow internally. And at the tippy top is self-actualization. Now, what is self-actualization? That, so picture your best version of you. What is that? What does that look like? How much money do you make? You know, what kind of job are you doing? Who are the people you're helping? What kind of lifestyle do you have? Now, the path to find that version of you is self-actualization.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm all about, is trying to find the best version of you. Now, what it's going to take to get to that is going to be different for everybody. So
Yeah.
that's different for me because you have different goals in life. I have different goals in life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what I love to study, and that's what my book will be about, and well, is about when it's published. When I find the title, I'll let you know. For now, just follow Lovey Perez, right?
Yeah, yeah. I like just the format of it because in order to have a solution, you got to realize that you have a problem, and everybody
Yeah,
doesn't see that they're the problem, but everybody else is the problem, and that's just what 99% of society is today. Is everybody's fault but mine fault. But how else you supposed to get better or healing if
exactly.
you don't know your problems, you don't know your flaws, and even I had to take that look in the mirror.
Well,
And
well, yeah, if you want to change your world, people are so fast and so quick to say, I want to change the world and I want to do this and I want to do that. Well, okay, start with you. Start
mm-hmm,
with, you know, Michael Jackson had it right when he said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror, you know, because that's the person you have to start with. If you want to change the world, start with changing you.
mm-hmm,
And self-mastery is a forever journey, you know, because you're always developing you.
mm-hmm.
You're always evolving into the better version of you. At least you should be. Some people kind of goes way left, but we're not going to talk about them. You know, you know, we want to progress in life, you know, and constantly go up and succeed in, you know, different ventures, whatever that means to you. So yeah, so that's basically, like I said, what I study, what I want, and you know, I want to help and inspire other girls to do that. I primarily focus on females and women because I am one. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, of
know,
course.
yeah, I don't know what it means to be a man and to kind of help you. But if the journey that I'm talking about is relative to you and you can gain something from it, obviously there's another audience that I have not even thought about.
Oh shoot, I learned so much from everybody. Like you have really been the most interesting guest that I had so far. I would say like the top five
We'll say
because I'm just really soaking this all up.
I said it might be somewhat controversial though if you know me personally. Ron-
I'm very
well,
controversial. Just
yeah, yeah. I
just
have
by my name alone, like the name of my show, because um I was going to get an article and pretty much on M Live, and they asked me what my name of my business meant,
hmm
and I had told them um, that it came from the Haitian Revolution and how it really inspired me because you have these group of black people coming together and just were outnumbered by the French and the Spaniards. They was outnumbered as far as guns and stuff like that. But they all came together because usually when it comes with slave rebellions, they're men. But these were men, women, and children. They
hmm
all came together, used plants that was poisonous. They used hand-to-hand combat. They worked together as one and eventually gained their independence. So I pretty much use that to correlate with the city of Saginaw because
Yeah.
if we all come together instead of all this competition and all this fighting, all this beef and drama and stuff like that, then we will win.
And I liken that because I was born in Saginaw.
Hmm.
I actually graduated from Saginaw Valley. I
Okay.
didn't live there though through my most of my childhood. I went to Holland and went, you know, back to college in Saginaw, and then I left there immediately. Couldn't wait to leave.
No, no problem with that.
Yeah, no, I do love Saginaw. I do because my grandma's there. You know, I have family still there.
Hmm.
My problem when I think about Saginaw is I think about how so many people still are at, you know, that chart I told you about Maslow. They're
Hmm.
still at the bottom. They still haven't gotten the basic needs, you
Hmm.
know, and that's food, water, shelter. The culture and the poverty that's stuck there, they haven't realized that in order to have a good, successful life, I need to get those needs met, you know?
Yeah.
So if they can do that, and then don't even get me started with a lovingness and belonging and self-esteem, you know, because it's not there, okay?
Yeah.
It's not, although I wish,
It's really not.
yeah, and I wish it was because Saginaw is my heart, you know, to a degree, because I was born there
Yeah.
and that's where I came from, you know? So I still am seeking and want to, you know, part of that self-actualization is trying to develop the better you, find and discover better ways of living. And I still want to help and try to figure out how we can change and create a culture that doesn't have the poverty ways and lifestyles that Saginaw has. So if you guys could help me, that would be wonderful. Because I mean, Saginaw as a whole, I mean, like Flint, like Detroit, you know,
Hmm.
New York, all these different cities that have these high poverty, just high crime rates. And, you know, wherever there's poverty, there's also crime. They coincide, they go together.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
so, you know, if we can help change the culture, let alone the music and everything that goes along with it, then we
Yeah.
can change America. We can truly change the people. But until then, I think that there's, you know, Cardi B's will be the ones who are inspiring the children and the younger girls, unfortunately. And not that,
Oh.
you know,
I'm gonna let you say that
I,
because they're gonna tear my ass up.
right.
So I'm gonna just.
Only say right. And I only say that because have I enjoyed her music? Yes.
Hmm.
But she herself wouldn't even allow her own children or child. I don't know how many children she has. I know she has a
Hmm.
child, but only because I read it, how she would not let her child listen to her own music and let that, you know, resonate with people and realize that their children are on TikTok, on these different platforms, and they're being exposed to the same content that she's producing that she herself will not allow her own child or children to be exposed to. You know, that's a problem. And I know you, as a parent, you should be overseeing your child. I don't have children, so maybe I shouldn't have a say, but at the same time, I have nieces and nephews, and I see what they have on their TikToks, and I am more than shocked every time. And am I, you know, upset? Yeah, because they shouldn't be exposed to such crazy content at a young age.
Hmm.
Now, is that part of their mother's problem? Yes. And I got, you know, and I got on my sister about that. Like, hey, you need to have some sort of age restriction, something. And I think that there is something on there that they can do.
Hmm.
But because it was her TikTok and she's obviously older than 18, you know, they go on it and they're exposed to crazy, crazy stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my little issue with the culture and the poverty culture.
Yeah.
And the poverty culture is like 90% of America. You know, we're not the top 2%, the top 10%. And think about their lifestyle. Do you think that they sit around and do the same thing that the 90%, the 98% do? No, they don't. They live a whole different lifestyle. You know, that's that, not that they're better than us, but they have more and they know how to have it, they know how to maintain it. So, you know, and we're stuck hanging out with people and living lives and communicating with people who are doing the same thing, if not a little bit better or a little bit worse.
Hmm.
And it's like, where, how do you go from there, you know?
Yeah. And I just wanted to add this. I just think that we all are products of our environments. You know, we even though we don't pick to be born into a rich family, we don't pick to be born in a poor family either. Like
No.
we just become adapt. We just adapt to our environments, and but you don't have to be a prisoner of your environment.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I grew up on the South Side, and I pretty much went outside and just fought every day and been around the gang members and
Did,
stuff like that. Seen shootings, seen
did
people,
you get
huh?
did you get beat up?
Yeah, a lot of times you gotta take an ass whooping in order to know how to give one. So
Oh, okay.
I have no shame in me. I lost some fights because I wasn't always this big. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm
Yeah.
6'5" now, but I was a small child. You know what I'm saying? Well, height wise, but other than that, I just knew for a fact that I wasn't going to allow myself to grow up in these type of conditions
Mhm.
because I said as soon as I was able enough to get older, I wanted to go to college, but I didn't have the support system. I didn't have anybody to motivate me or
Well,
to
see,
really encourage me.
yeah, no, and a lot of people I think fall victim to that mindset because they believe that they have to have the support of others, and you don't. I'm here to tell people that they don't.
Oh yeah.
You are your biggest motivator. You're your biggest cheerleader.
Hmm.
You're your biggest supporter. Now, when you can grasp that idea and mentally realize, I don't need their support, I can do it without them, and not have like a cocky attitude about it, but like
Hmm.
your potential, your full potential, that I can do more. I can do whatever it is that I'm putting my mind to, my goals. I can actually accomplish that. Then you're tapping into what you were talking about, Carl Jung, psychologist Carl Jung, and he says, I am what I choose to become.
Hmm.
Like I said, you don't have to be a product of where you came from. Just because that was your lifestyle from birth doesn't mean that that has to be the end of your years, you know?
Hmm.
And
Of course.
a lot of people think that 50 is like halfway there because it's half of 100. If you really think about it, the average person doesn't survive after like 80. So
Hmm.
in your 30s and your 40s is kind of like you're halfway there. But if you choose to be healthy and choose, you can live that long life. You can live that great life. You can accomplish those goals. You can do whatever it is that you want to do,
Hmm.
without, not saying that the support doesn't help. Obviously, it does. If you have a great support system, obviously, yes. But if you don't, that's okay. You can still do whatever it is that you want to do.
Oh, no doubt. And I have this story for you, right?
Okay.
Um, yeah, because when I was graduating high school, only three people showed up to see me graduate,
Yeah.
and it was just like it was because I almost didn't graduate because I had a hard senior year. I got hurt playing football, and I had to um, sit at home on bed rest and everything because I had a real serious injury. I had two injuries at the same time. So I had broke my neck and I had a concussion at the same time. So I had to learn how to walk again, all types of stuff. So a lot of people didn't know that. They just saw me hurt and stuff like that and thought that was the funniest shit ever. But I was bullied. I was really harassed for being injured. And I just always had to undergo a whole lot of adversity, even as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like, what you were saying, like, you are your biggest motivator. I know that now because I'm doing the impossible every day just by continuing on with my business and stuff like that. Because I don't get paid for this. I don't get the roots, the cheers like that every day. But I always tell myself, like, I'm better off than when I started. Because when I started, it took a whole lot of just confidence to get in front of this camera because
Yeah.
everybody can get in front of a camera and talk to strangers every week like I can, but
Well,
I knew that I was, huh?
and find meaningful conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is really work, and I just explain to people because everybody just want to be there for the fun, but nobody understands the work or don't understand the plans. The because I'm pretty sure that you um you have to write a lot of things down, or
Oh,
you had to create a lot of vision, like a vision board or just sticky notes and stuff in order for you to get to what you're doing. Because
Yeah,
now you want to,
it's
oh, I'm going.
more list than anything.
Uh-huh.
I tried the whole vision board on my computer,
Hmm.
but I find that to me doesn't really, it's like you're just staring at something.
Yeah.
And unless you can actually mentally see yourself already enjoying those things,
Hmm.
as for example, if you want a Rolls Royce, right?
Hmm.
Or if you want whatever kind of car your dream car is, if you can stare at it and sit there and it's literally going to do nothing. If
Hmm.
you stare at it and like, this is what I want, I put it up there on the board, it's there. Everyone knows it's there. Well, unless you actually mentally feel what it means to actually sit in the car mentally, if you can do that and
Hmm.
feel the leather or whatever fabric that you want in your car and feel the joy and the excitement of having that as your vehicle, and
Hmm.
mentally really manifest it, it's
Hmm.
just be you're going to always just have a vision board. And so whenever I hear vision boards, I kind of like cringe staring at like a beautiful house on a lake or whatever it is that you want,
Hmm.
whatever it is on your vision board. And not that that's not inspiring, because, okay, sure. But unless you can sit there and imagine yourself waking up in the bed in your dream house and cooking a meal in your dream kitchen, and what is it like when you do or use or you're in those things that you want to manifest. So, the perfect example right now, a small one, but a perfect example of what I'm talking about is at one of our restaurants, we it's a full service restaurant, but we do not have a liquor license, right? And so
Hmm.
now are about $200,000, and after about 2.5 years, it's all profit afterwards, right? Because you're paying it off.
Yeah.
So me, typical faith living, right? I go and I get a nice bar, and I'm getting glasses, and I'm getting everything prepared for a liquor license, so we can have the potential to, it's a class B liquor license, so we can have the potential to sell beer and wine,
Hmm.
so I am moving by faith. I'm not putting it up there saying my restaurant's going to have a liquor license and we're going to do 60% increase in sales annually, whatever it is that you want on your vision board, right?
Hmm.
So I'm not putting it up on the vision board, but I'm responding and acting in faith. So I'm living a life of faith. And what does that look like? It's preparing for things that you don't even see. You don't know how they're going to come. We're not even on the list yet. I'm not even on the list yet, but I've had things happen that I have questioned, like, this must be faith. I have no idea how it happened, but it has to be faith, because if you really do that, things will find a way to manifest and find a way to actually come into fruition. So it's I'm not gonna lie, it's happened for me, it's happened for my dad.
Hmm.
you know my dad just randomly, there's no way he could have gotten, and I don't want to even say this all live because his blessings are offensive. And when
Yeah.
I say that, they're so large and wild beyond people's comprehensions. Like, you couldn't handle someone writing you a check, right, for say $700,000, right?
Hmm.
Your world would be turned upside down. I mean, granted, that's not a lot of money to some people, but to the average Joe in Michigan, yes,
Yeah.
things of that nature that have happened, and I'm like sitting here watching my dad, like, what is happening, and it's all things of faith that happen, and he's like, well, I don't know, but I just got another check, or I just got this, I just got that, and he does the same thing. You can't just stare at a board, you have to see it happening. I have two Pomeranians, right? Before
Hmm.
I even had one, I was buying a little bed for the Pomeranian. I was buying little clothes, a leash, and little water bowls. I was preparing for it.
Yeah.
Now, Did I know when I was going to get Archie, my first one? No, I had no idea. He was a surprise, actually. So, and I was, thank God, already prepared, although I was prepared for a girl, a female one. Had all pink stuff. I had to switch that out. But you got to move and live by faith and, believe it, and then you'll see it. You
Yeah.
know, they say seeing is believing or whatever it is, but you really have to believe it first and then you'll see it.
Oh, absolutely. Because you are the alpha and the omega of your life. And it's funny because I started this platform all in one day. Like I didn't know I was gonna call it, but
Mm-hmm.
I went to work that morning, right? And I told everybody to leave me the hell alone. Don't talk to me. Don't bother me. I manifested, and they like, man, this nigga
Good.
crazy. But
Of the
but I
greatest people in the world, we're crazy to everyone else, right? Everyone great
yeah.
is super misunderstood, and they're really, really wild. Like Kanye is wild, but he's going to be forever known as probably one of the greats
Hmm.
um, in certain aspects. Trump and all these controversial people, and even Biden. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. Yeah, cause I'm crazy. I would feel like I'm not conformed. You can't conform me. You can't program me. If anything, I think I'm very influential as far as like my way of thinking because I
hmm
prove to everybody that you can do things independently because I was able to have just artists, celebrities that I grew up watching on TV, grew up listening to their songs on the radio,
yeah,
like just talk to me and just acknowledge me, know me, and stuff like that. I wasn't treated like a fan. I was treated as a visitor.
yeah,
But at the end of the day,
yes,
but at the end of the day, I was able to meet my favorite rapper of all time, brother. So that was just like major um because because he just broke his silence this year. He just came out on the internet this year, and I just had told myself like I gotta meet him and stuff, and because this really meant a lot. And I told him that his brother saved my life because I don't know if I just really told you like the main objective of my platform because I went through a lot. I lost a lot of people in my family.
mm,
So I wanted to just reach out and help people because I was really by myself. Like, because when you go through something hard, like losing a sibling and a parent and a grandparent, but both my grandparents, cousins, relatives, and stuff like that,
yeah,
that take a toll on you mentally. And and I'm the friend that always shows all his teeth, smiling, giving good energy, advice, and everything.
yep,
So when you just feel like, okay, you feel fine one day, like
yeah,
yesterday you felt fine, and then the next day you just feel broken. You feel like your balloon
yeah,
deflated,
yeah,
and everybody's still looking at you like they looked at you yesterday.
yeah. They're like, "What's your problem?"
I have people tell me like, man, I know you're going through something, but please don't bring it to work, or please, I don't want to hear about it. I got my own life, I got my own problems, but you snap out of it. And I was like, ain't no snapping out of this just because you can do that or you can say that.
Yeah,
But some things doesn't work through no Thanos snap. It takes years
yeah,
to get
yeah.
back to. I ain't gonna say you go back to normal because you don't, but
No,
you go, but
that's
you learn
yeah.
who you
You
are.
it forever will change you. Grieving process will forever change you. But I think that if you don't allow it to tear you apart, it can make you appreciate life and little things and moments and memories and realize the value of a moment, with the ones that you have now. And you can really appreciate it 10 times more because you realize this might not be forever. You know, my loved one, you know, I had not a terrible, but a somewhat non-relationship with my mother for a
Hmm.
year. Now I call her every day, every morning. I'm the obnoxious child. You know, I'm so obnoxious just to call her and ask her, hey, what are you doing? Even though I know she's drinking coffee, you know, every morning at the same time. And yeah, you know, I have a wonderful relationship with her now because I really value her and I want to have that relationship with her, you know, and I wanted it to strengthen it because there was none before. And I realized if you want to have that relationship with someone, you have to be the initiator. And are you going to always get that back? Probably not. But if you value something, you're going to go after it, you know?
Yeah, I agree because I think that changed me forever because now I think everybody out to hurt me, everybody out to get me, and I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm a victim or anything or I'm in trouble or anything, but that's just like the trauma of it.
Yeah.
And people think it's I'm being mean or being dismissive when I prefer to be by myself because I was just uh just just talking about it now, just kind of like it's one of those things that you have to acknowledge because that's a part of me, and I
Yeah.
just say to anybody that meets me, just have to I ain't gonna say deal with it, but just understand it. Don't understand it, just understand it, because I'm at least honest enough to talk to whoever comes into my life now,
Mm-hmm.
because they really don't understand just the healing, the time, and the prayer, and the work that went into becoming a better me. And I went
See,
through
and that's
that.
part of that,
Huh?
all part of that process of self-actualization. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, people do it and they don't even, they're not aware of it because they don't know.
No.
And when you're taught it and you finally realize, oh, this is what I'm doing, you'll be more intentional, you know, when
Yeah.
you want to develop. I find it not a lot of people actually sit down and think and just write ideas. Like I do this exercise where I sit down and I'll write um, 20 ways of how to increase my finances, 20 ways to help me emotionally develop whatever area, 20 ways to strengthen my mom and I relationship, 20 ways to, you know, and just write them down. And it really forces you to think of how to develop yourself, how to become better in whatever area, 20 ways of how to organize and make a schedule or stick to a schedule rather, 20 ways of how I can eat healthier. You know, whatever it is that you want to become better at in life, you can. You just have to actually do it. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm trying and I'm doing it. No, you're not. You're
Mm-hmm.
literally doing nothing. And you know, I liken that to the scripture of judge a man by its fruit that he produces, not the fruit that he wants to produce, because we
Yeah.
could all sit here and want to do this. I want to do that. And of course, everyone wants to be a millionaire and wants, but are you actually doing something? No, you're not. I'm
No.
here to tell you, stop lying to yourself. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just think that when it comes to fruit, um, people only look at the good fresh produce, and they ignore the rotten, of course. But I think that the rotten also we can learn from the rotten as well, because that rotten patch is a story with that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish that people would quit just really trying to cross examine people,
Mm-hmm.
but instead um just be more compassionate, be have more empathy. And society don't have empathy, and I feel as if I'm very impacted person, and especially now after everything I'm going through,
Hmm.
because I used to be very judgmental and stuff like that, but now I have just um
Well, it's
the
easy to
knowledge.
it's easy to judge. People judge when they don't know how to critically think for themselves. And that takes development to be able to
Oh
get
yeah,
past.
yeah. I got sentenced to life a whole bunch of times. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So, but now, um, I'm willing to have mistrials, but I can't sentence someone to life, not, in prison, but out of my life if it's
Yeah.
necessary, because this is my life. This is my journey. This is my legacy.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I wanted to get rid of whoever's a threat to my happiness and my legacy.
Yeah. Absolutely. You need to, cut off the like roses when you're growing roses, you need to cut them back. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, not everyone who is with you now is going to be on the same journey that you're on 10 years from now when you're extremely successful and you're interviewing people like J Lo or whoever is the hot one at that time. I love J Lo. What I'm saying though, so the people, unfortunately, and they always say started from the bottom, now we're here, the whole crew's here, whatever the song is, right?
Yeah,
um, that's not the case. You're gonna meet people, and then you're gonna meet people above on your journey that you don't know right now. One, two, not all the people on the level that you're at right now can handle you rising to the success level that you're gonna get to. So they will be jealous. They'll be, and I've already seen the crazy come out of people, and unfortunately lost a lot of friends because they couldn't handle me succeeding.
hmm
They're gonna handle success. And not that it was just my success, but it was my family's and my dad and I, because my dad and I are partners in the restaurants. And it's not like we have like so much that it's like, oh, look at you. But it's like we have a lot to be thankful for. And
yeah,
I used to think when I would study, millionaires and billionaires, what is all the number one common trait that they all have in common? And it was gratitude, right?
yeah,
And I used to think, well, of course they're grateful. Like they have everything. But that's not how it started. When like gratitude will get you there. When you're grateful for the little things that you have now in comparison to what you're gonna have, and you can see it, like I said earlier, like mentally, your mental capacity is thinking about all those things that you want and can have. You will thrive and go a lot faster on that path of success and self-actualization than if you did not have that gratitude. That's, I think, the real secret to success is gratitude.
yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah.
and you have that gratitude when you have, there was a really good book that I read, and I can't remember which one it was because I love reading. But I always remember little parts of them. And there was one guy who had a large empire, right? And he had just millions and hundred of staff, and he was doing really good in life. And he was in an interview, and they asked him, when did you know that you were successful? What was the
hmm
moment? This is it. I made it. I arrived. A lot of people joke and say I was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. No. No, I
Right.
mean, not right.
hmm
he said he said, and it shocked me, he said, I knew that I was at a moment of success when I was sleeping on park benches, when I had the idea and I knew what I was going to do. At that moment, he was homeless on a park bench, sleeping. But he told himself, this is what I'm going to do. This is my idea. This is how I'm going to build my empire. And he did it.
hmm
He knew he was successful at that moment, which, I mean, I don't know if I would have said the same thing, but that was really inspiring because it let me know, okay, even though I'm not sleeping on park benches, at the level that I'm at now, you know, I know that I'm successful because I know where I'm going.
hmm
You know, like if you ask a captain on a ship where their destination is, They know exactly where it is. I can tell you, this is the destination. This is the, pinpoint. This is when we should arrive. And nothing else, not unless there's weather, should hinder that,
Hmm.
A lot of people don't have a destination. So they're just like a boat on water. Wherever life takes them is where they're going to end up.
Yeah.
And that's terrible. Not unless that's your lifestyle. And you're this, really just random person and spontaneous. I don't like that. For me, I want to have a goal. I want to have a destination, and I want to move forward to that and progress every day,
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I'm just I'm the exact same way. And going back to lost, um, even though like I lost friends, I lost family, I lost opportunities,
mhm,
but the one thing that I'm grateful for not losing was my mind.
absolutely.
So once you um don't lose your mind, you will gain everything
Hmm.
that you want.
Yeah.
And that's why I always encourage people to go after their dreams and
Yeah.
go after what they want.
Well, yeah, if you lose your mind, you lost everything. You know,
Exactly.
seriously, because in my book, I liken the mind to the engine in a car.
Hmm.
You can have all the parts, right? Am I right? I'm not a mechanic, but tell me if I'm wrong. You can have the body, you can have the wheels, you can have the seats, the steering wheels, the brakes. I don't know everything about cars, but everything else but the engine. Where are you going? You're not going to be, without your mind, you're lost. You're
Hmm.
done, you know? So I've never met anyone who, sorry, my dogs, who has been successful and made it to their goals that did not have their mental thinking further developed and, actually had control of their mind. So, yeah, don't lose your mind.
No, it's stronger than ever, and I'm very very happy that you and I met,
Absolutely. I'm
cause because to be honest with you, I didn't really, huh?
I said I'm gonna definitely have to come back when I actually have like my physical, tangible book and it's published. You as well. You'll have to share it with me.
Yeah,
Maybe we can find copies for each other.
yeah, no problem. It's funny because I didn't know that we was friends until you commented on that post,
What did I
and
comment on some stuff I probably shouldn't?
no, no,
Okay.
no. It was about the entrepreneur thing,
Okay. Yeah.
entrepreneur life. So that's when I was just like, hey, who is this? So I would like to meet new people. I would like to expand and network and stuff. So I'm grateful to have you on my platform because I believe this episode could help a lot of people and especially getting their empire started. So I know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Like I said at the beginning, it's not for the weak. It is hard.
Hmm.
And you don't have the comfort and the safe gate of a 9 to 5 where you clock in and you can clock out. Do you know how freeing it is to be able to clock out? I've not clocked out in like 9 years.
It's for real.
So that alone, you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. You don't know how you're going to make it and pay for product, to provide a service.
Hmm.
How these things, you're constant living on faith. But if you really think about it, your chances for success are in your favor
Hmm.
because more likely to succeed in that and get a lot more money if that's the goal that leads
Hmm.
to, well, not necessarily, but the things that you want versus a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
you know and not some people aren't built for it, and that's okay. They don't have the mind and they can't handle the unstable and the uncertainty of that check,
Hmm.
because a check so comforting. You know, that's living in comfort. You know that check's coming. You know, you get like, what, 40 grand a year. You know, you're good.
Hmm.
You're okay. You're comfortable. So some companies will pay you just enough to keep you comfortable.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
the most dangerous thing ever. You know, and even myself, I put myself on a salary. That was really dangerous. But I try not to keep that mindset, you know, because I don't want to get comfortable and never progress. But
Hmm.
I've realized I'm not that type, so I can continue to do this and still be paid salary, which is nice. Um, but yeah, it's not for the weak. It's hard. It's hard work. It's a mental development. It's more mental than physical. But
Yeah.
it's you know, faith is like working out for the body as fitness is like for the mind of development, you know. So it keeps you going and it keeps you thinking and it keeps you progressing. And that's what I love about entrepreneurship. Literally, I love it. I, like I said, I would not trade it for anything. Like right now, when I showed you my beauty products, these, it's a little dusty. I plan on having these on Ulta Beauty shelves by the end of the year of 2023. That was my goal I wrote down
Hmm.
for my beauty products. So like I'm serious when when I'm saying I'm gonna succeed, I'm gonna win. I expect to win. Now, is it gonna be easy? No, it's gonna be
No.
a lot of, I'm gonna have to sacrifice. I'm gonna have to sacrifice sleep. I'm gonna have to sacrifice time and things that I want to do that are temporary fun, you know, before the gratitude of the larger goal that I want, which is my products on Ulta Beauty shelves, and then ultimately after that, maybe even take over the beauty industry and have Perez cosmetic stores that sell my brand and the other cosmetics, just like Ulta, just like Sephora, you know. Never limit yourself, constantly
Hmm.
think bigger and think bigger. And I think one of the best books I read was the power, no, the magic of thinking big and the power of positive thinking. Those books changed my life. And I know Steve Harvey always talks about this too and recommends those. But honestly, those books are life changing. Like it'll help you change your thinking if you can't do it alone, which I couldn't. I needed some inspiration. So I needed something and someone to help and teach me. One of my greatest motivators is Jim Rohn. He's one of my favorite. Now his style of talking is not modern, but he's my
Yeah.
favorite. Les Brown. You know, these are the, you know, Jim Rohn he was a teacher to Tony Robbins. You know, like all of these great modern guys
Hmm.
learn from the older guys. And I like the older guys because they're more blunt and blatant and they have a style about them that are just so honest and so real that I can relate to it. So thank
Yeah.
you.
That's dope.
Thank
That's
you.
dope.
Thank you. Inspire yourself though. You know, a great leader and a great teacher teaches people to do the same thing. You know, like I want all of us to win. I want people to be inspired by me, yes, but learn to inspire themselves
Hmm.
and to come up with the ideas like, I didn't know I could do this, but look what I'm doing. Like, do whatever it is that you want to do and see it to fruition. And then all of a sudden, you got your own product. A little dirty. My finger.
Hey,
You know,
it's happening. It's right there.
right.
So
You have a tangible thing or a service, a business, or whatever it is that is inspiring to you that and then you got to get that inspiration for yourself because when you get it, it's literally the most gratifying thing. And then you realize the secret was gratitude. You
hmm.
know, I wake up and I'm so grateful every single day and I love that I can create and try new things. Like today I was doing a bouquet of makeup for my cosmetics for, you know, getting ready for the Valentine's Day launch. You know,
Hmm.
so small things like that, preparation. It's exciting. It really is. I think my dogs want to do an appearance on your show. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is Archie.
Hey.
Yeah, let's see. And this is Fonzie. All right. They just wanted some attention.
Oh, oh, no problem. And I just,
They're the
I just
stars.
soaking up everything that you said, though. I'm soaking
Yeah,
it up
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's important.
Yeah, definitely. Soak it all up. And honestly, like I said, when I, you know, and I've wanted to do this book for so long. Yes, they are so poofy. I wanted to do this book for so long because I wanted to help inspire specifically adolescent girls. You know, that was
Hmm.
what my heart was. That's where the reason why I got into psychology. And, I have a double minor, sociology and youth services because I want to really help young girls because I was that young girl that wanted and needed someone like me now to help me. And I didn't
Hmm.
know where he was. So if I could be there to help that younger girl when I have that book, and I wanted to make it small and easy read, although I do probably have to change the lingo a little bit so that way it's a little bit better understanding. Because I have a psychology degree and can relate to everything, which
Hmm.
is totally okay. Um, but and primarily help the younger girls. Like that's where my heart is, and I hope there's a foundation that actually was like, no, I don't want to say that publicly. There was a group that was created, and I wanted to do something similar, and they did it. They have all my notes and everything, but that's okay. I'm glad
Hmm.
that it's still getting the cause out there, right?
Yeah.
But I want to eventually book to all those girls in that program, you know.
Yeah.
So
And you go shine, you go, because truth always come to the light. So
absolutely, absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to keep you hostage
No,
longer, but
like bedtime tea and everything.
yeah,
I sound
yeah, but
say that, don't I? Little old lady
yeah.
drinking tea before she goes to sleep at night. I can't after. Okay.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is cool.
Yeah,
You cool. You gotta come back.
absolutely. I would love to. Love to when I get my book done, and then when I also get maybe even for the Valentine's Day launch that I'm working on, I can kind of maybe promote it a little. I don't know. You guys have some ladies you want to buy some cosmetics for?
Oh
I
yeah, I know a lot of them, so I got you.
Right, or if you just have crusty chapped lips in the wintertime, I have lip balm, you know.
Yeah, thank you. Shoot, I need it because this CarMax ain't working.
Yeah, no,
uh,
seriously. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, but we will keep in touch, and
okay.
I wish you nothing but the best and success in all your future endeavors. And we're gonna have to bring you back for part two one of these days. Just let me know.
Absolutely. I'll definitely get a hold of you. And thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate all the comments. Sorry I didn't get to all of them. I appreciate all the kind words. Honestly, I really do. So
You
thank
deserve it.
you. You as well. Likewise.
Thank you. You have yourself a wonderful night.
Okay, I will. I'm going to sleep.
Me too.
Okay. That's all
All right. Peace.
right. Bye.
Bye.